Hi everyone, it's Mari. Welcome back to my channel. I have another project today for the Vicki Boutin design team. I'm going to be creating this 12 by 12 project that you can see here on my screen. And I'm going to start off here with the beautiful gallery paper. This is the B side, and I'm going to, or I already have punched out some of these circles with a circle punch, a variety of different sizes of circle punches to make a bunch of circle embellishments for my project today. So I do have a few sheets of this paper. I'm showing you a full sheet here. It's such gorgeous paper. I love both sides. And I just love these really colorful circles. And I thought it would be so fun to use them in a diagonal line, bouncing from the bottom left corner to the top right, kind of in this interesting kind of, wonky, curvy line through the center. And here I'm just showing you roughly how I plan to place these circles on my project. I have them sitting on a piece of the Vicki Boutin Foundations paper on my desk. And now what I'm going to do is take some press and seal wrap, plastic wrap, and I'm going to just put that on top of my circles and adhere them all together in a line. And this is just going to help me place those on the different papers I want to use. So I want to use this star paper that's in the mixed media paper pad. So this is one of the pre-made mixed media backgrounds. And what I'm now going to do is place my circles on top of that and just use a pencil to mark on that mixed media paper where I want to cut that paper, because I want the top left portion of my paper to be that mixed media paper. I want the bottom portion across from it diagonally to be white. So here you can just see I've used my scissors to cut where I had marked with the pencil. I'm just going to cut a little bit of extra off here where I missed kind of cutting. And here you can just see this is how I'm planning to get that mixed media portion in the top area, corner area, and the white space in the bottom corner area, and then the diagonal circles through that center diagonal line. So this is how I prepped things and got things sort of organized to create the rest of the project. I'm now going to take some tape runner and adhere this mixed media paper to my foundations paper as the base, and get ready to continue to add the details to my project here. So I'll get this adhered down, get that all secured onto my paper, and then start adding those circles on that wonky curvy line there. So I'm just going to add these circles. Some are going to be flat and some are going to be popped up on with some foam adhesive, just to add a bit of dimension in that way. That's just going to make it look a little bit more interesting, having that varied height of circle through that diagonal line. So I'm not going to show you adding all of the circles just because it's the same thing over and over again. I'm going to put one flat, then one popped up, one flat, one popped up. Sometimes I do have a couple of popped up ones together, but usually it's varied with one flat and one dimensional in that way. And I'm just using some 3L foam squares on the back of my circles to add those onto my curvy patterned paper here through the center diagonally. And this is kind of fun, right? Because it's going to draw our eye through that center area, which is going to be where I'm going to put my photo as well. So I'm just finishing up now. What I'll do, because I have gone off the edge of the paper in a couple of places, is and here I'm just adjusting the line of my circles just to make it look a little bit more curvy. And once I'm happy and satisfied with the placement of the circles, I'm just going to move them up and down a little bit. I'll flip the paper over and trim off the excess paper where I've gone off the edge here. So you'll see me do that pretty quick. I'm just going to finish adjusting these. I do want my curvy line to be a little bit more curvy and not just a straight line. So it's really super easy to do that with the repositionable adhesive, and the foam adhesive is pretty forgiving as well because I haven't pressed too hard on it or anything yet. So here you can just see I'm going to flip that paper over, just take my scissors and trim off on the back the circles that are hanging over the edge, and that will just clean that up and make it look just nice and tidy. and finished up. So now what I've done is I've taken the line drawing paper. Before this step, I actually sized down my other page, or the page with the circles on it, the main part of my layout so far. I sized it down 1/2 inch. So it's now an 11-inch square piece. And this piece of 12 by 12 pattern paper is going to be a mat. So I'm just going to take the center out of this paper and set it aside for another project. I love this vibrant blue that's on the B side of this paper. It's so gorgeous. I really love it. And so I didn't want to waste the center part of this. I'm going to, like I said, just gut this and set it aside. I will use a little bit of this as well for this project as a photo mat as well. But for now, I'm just going to set that aside. And then you can just see here, I'm going to adhere my main part of my layout here to this beautiful blue paper. This is a circle from the chipboard. It's a circle frame. I love that for framing in my photo here. So I've I've printed my photo at 3 inches by 3 inches in black and white. I've placed that chipboard circle over top, and now I'm just going to take my cutter bee scissors and trim around the edge of that chipboard, and that's just going to provide the perfect circular frame for my photo here. Love how that turned out. I really like that. I love that the photo is in a circle. That's going to complement the circle shapes that are in that diagonal line through the center of my layout. And here I'm just kind of roughly getting an idea of where I want that, but I do decide that it will go right through the circle line. Now I have taken a piece of the line drawing paper and I've traced around a circle shape that I had in my space that's larger than the frame that's around the photo. And I'm going to cut 2 other pieces of paper in a circle as well. I'm roughing up the edges of the paper, so it's not a big deal if it's not perfectly straight. And I'm also going to use the handmade paper and the array of colors paper for circles for a photo mat around my photo here. And I'm just going to show you those papers that I've used here, just cut roughly in a circle, and then I've just taken that same paper distressing tool and distressed the edges of all of those papers that are in the photo mat. I'm going to pop up my photo with some foam squares onto that heart paper. I love that handmade paper. It's so pretty with the pink background with the orange hearts. It's gorgeous. And I'm going to just leave a little bit of that peeking around the edges of my photo, as well as the teal and the black, to create that really fun photo mat for my photo. So I'm going to adhere these all together. The only one that's dimensional is the top one there. The rest are all stuck together flat, and that will be for my photo. Now I'm going to show you something that I think is really fun, a fun way to use your gel crayons. I took some wood veneer stars. These are from the Let's Wander collection, a couple of collections ago from Vicki. But you could use any wood veneer shapes that you have in your stash with your gel crayons, and you can just color them with the gel crayons. It works so well. So I used a bunch of the different rainbow colors to color in my stars. It would have been fine to use them in wood veneer as well, but this is such a pretty colorful rainbow colored project. I wanted my stars to have some color as well. So like I said, the gel crayons are perfect for this. They are such a creamy texture and they just blend onto the wood veneer beautifully. So if you do ever want to put color on some of your wood veneer that you have in your stash, and don't worry, I know I have tons of wood veneer too that I have in my stash that I could use these gel crayons on. It was super quick and easy, a really fun and easy way to add some color to something like wood veneer. So another way that you can use your gel crayons, there's a fun little hack for using your gel crayons. Now, I am going to finish up with the yellow, and I am going to I won't actually use all of these stars. I think I don't use the orange one, but I do believe going to use all of the rest of them here around the title on my project. So I really love that "Oh yeah" puffy phrase. That's perfect from the black puffy phrase sticker sheet. And I'm also going to use a chipboard arrow from the chipboard for my title area. I'm popping my photo up on a little bit of foam adhesive to adhere it to kind of the center area of my circle diagonal line through the center. I'm going to start to adhere down my title now. I just love this. Oh yeah, I think it's super cute. This photo is adorable. It's a photo of my friends, little kids. They're sitting together outside, and she's obviously, telling her brother really something very, very important. She's kind of she's talking with her hands a little bit in this photo. I think it's the cutest photo. And anyways, I just thought it was really sweet. So I thought this, oh yeah, was perfect. And I'm going to put my wood veneer stars in that title area as well, which I thought was really cute. And I'm going to also add some other title area around the circle. I like using the curved lines for titles as well. Here I'm just showing you exactly where I put the stars on the project, and I am going to adhere those down with some liquid adhesive, but you can see I've used the thickers from Color Study to put the word stars around the photo in the circular shape, and I used some little tile stickers, tile alphas from my stash to spell out the word together. And that's in a little circular shape around the photo as well. So the title there is Stars Together and then Oh Yeah. And that's going to leave a really great spot there for my journaling, which I'm going to add just to the bottom left of the title area below the photo there. So just going to finish up gluing everything down. And I'm also going to use some more star embellishments. I'm going to use some of the tiny little gold puffy stars from Storyteller. Yeah, I love those. They're so fun. And this definitely has a star theme for sure. So I'm just going to pop those down in a few spots. I did forget to mention that I have sewn all the way around the white cardstock with my sewing machine. And I also sewed around the top of the rainbow circles diagonally through the center of the layout. I just went with my sewing machine and went around kind of like an outline in sewing machine stitching around the top edge of those circles. I just thought it gave it some really fun texture. I'm also using the chipboard stars from the chipboard sheets from Color Study to embellish some of my diagonal line circles as well, just putting them in the circles, kind of in the center of those circles. And you can just see we have a lot of stars. There's definitely a major star theme going on here. The inspiration for the stars, of course, was that mixed media paper from the mixed media paper pad and all of those stars on that paper. I think it's really fun. And I loved how some of those had the gold foiling in them as well. So I'm going to finish off with some gold splatters and some white splatters here. You'll see that in a couple of minutes. And I'm just going to finish up putting some more stars in that diagonal line through the center. I just think that looks really fun and just adds a little bit more sparkle and shine. Here I'm showing you a close-up of the tile together word there on the top or on the edge of the photo. And here I'm just showing you my plan is to put my journaling in this area down here. And I'm going to use some of the Vicki Boutin Creative Effects Gold Glaze for my splattering here. So I'm just going to take my Vicki Boutin spatula. I'm going to water down the gold paste, and I'm going to splatter with it in a few areas. I do want to make sure that I cover up my photo. I don't want any of the gold glaze on my photographs. You can just see I'm taking my Vicki Boutin brush and I'm watering down that glaze. Just getting it nice and juicy so that it'll splatter nicely on my project. And I'm going to cover up the photo with some cardstock here and just do a nice splatter. I don't necessarily want to get too much on my gold or on my black words there either. But I'm not too worried about the wood veneer stars. So I'm just going to kind of shield the splatter a little bit from going all over the place with my hand. And here you can just see I'm going to splatter away in a bunch of different areas. I think this is super pretty. It's going to add some texture. It's going to add some more really pretty sparkle. And it's going to add a cohesive element to the entire project. So I'm also going to add some really fine gold splatters with my fan brush. This fan brush has been in my stash from my folk art painting days, where if you guys were folk art painters, do you remember using your fan brush to add little hairs to your little critters, tiny little hairs of fur and that kind of thing? This fan brush has been well used. It's a great tool to have. If you don't have a fan brush in your stash, I highly recommend having one because they're really great for splattering. I'm also splattering with some white acrylic paint, and just getting some white splatters all over the entire layout, again, to create a cohesive effect on the entire project. It just draws everything together when you have an element that's sort of spread around on the entire project. So that's how the gold and the white splatters will do that effect or create that effect. So again, just showing you, I am watering my white acrylic paint down generously so that it splatters nicely. It doesn't show up that much on the white cardstock, obviously, but it definitely shows up nicely on the pattern paper, on the wood veneer stars, on any of the alphas and so on. And of course, in the mixed media area where it's colorful, that white is really going to pop. Now I'm also going to adhere my journaling strips here. So I have typed those out in Microsoft Word, printed them off on my computer and cut them into strips, and I didn't print them with my computer. I printed them with my printer. So I've got those all printed out and cut into strips, and now I'm just using my liquid adhesive to adhere those down. I had so much fun creating this project. I hope you enjoyed it. I did leave links in the description box below to the products that I've used today if you want to click those links and find any of the products to purchase. I've also linked up to Vicki's blog in the description box below, as well as her Facebook community. If you have not checked those out, be sure to. Have an amazing day, my friends, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.